crying, and my family chose my brother's gambling debts over my surgery. My father grabbed my throat and said, "Your brother's life matters more than yours." The phone in my pocket had been recording for 11 minutes. My father's hands closed around my throat while a framed Disney photo smiled down at us from the wall. I was 29, bald from chemo, 88 pounds, and apparently still too expensive for my family to love. The envelope sat on the kitchen table between us. Inside, $65,000, my last savings, earmarked for surgery, post-treatment medication, and 6 months of recovery rent. My mother tapped it with one red fingernail like it already belonged to her. "Your brother made a mistake," she said. Across the table sat Julian, hungover, swollen-eyed, performing shame while wearing a $900 watch. Gambling had eaten him alive again. This time he owed men who didn't send polite reminders. "My oncologist moved the surgery up," I said. "I need that money." My father laughed, cold, ugly. "You always need something. I have a life-threatening illness. And Julian has people coming after him." My mother's voice sharpened. "You think you're the only one in danger?" Julian finally looked up. "I'll pay you back. You said that when you stole my credit card." His face hardened. "Don't be dramatic. That was our family rhythm. Julian destroyed. Mom excused. Dad enforced." I bled quietly in the corner. My father stood, chair scraping like a blade. "Sign the transfer." "No." His eyes went flat. My mother whispered, "Don't make your father angry." That sentence had controlled my childhood, my birthdays, my college choices, my silence after Julian sold my car title without asking. It didn't control me anymore. Dad leaned close enough that I could smell coffee and rage on his breath. Then he said the words that cut the last thread between us. "Your brother needs that money more than you need your life." The room went still. I reached for the envelope. Dad thought I was surrendering. Instead, I slipped it into my bag and stood up. His hand shot out, closed around my throat, slammed me backward into the wall. Pain exploded white behind my eyes. My skull cracked the plaster. My mother screamed my name, not to save me, to warn me not to fight back. What my family didn't know, I had met with a lawyer 3 weeks earlier. My medical savings were no longer in a regular account. Every threatening text, voicemail, and screaming family dinner had been archived, dated, and copied. And my phone had been recording from inside my hoodie pocket since the moment I walked through their door. Dad tightened his grip. "You selfish little parasite." I clawed at his wrist. Chemo had turned my muscles to wet paper. My lungs burned. My ears rang. Then Julian said something that accidentally saved my life. "Dad, careful. We still need her to authorize it." Dad loosened his hand just enough for air to scrape into my throat. I dropped to the floor. My mother rushed over and grabbed my bag. Her mask finally fell. "Give it to me, Vivian." I looked up at her. "You planned this." Her mouth twitched. Julian stepped closer. "You forced us." I laughed. It hurt so badly I almost vomited. That laugh made them uneasy. Dad wiped his hands on his jeans like touching me had dirtied him. "You have until tonight. Transfer the money, or I call the hospital and tell them you're mentally unstable. You think they'll operate on a woman who's confused and hysterical?" There it was. They weren't just stealing my money. They were going to destroy my credibility if I resisted. I pulled my phone from my hoodie pocket. The screen was cracked, but it was alive. The red recording bar glowed like a tiny heartbeat. Julian saw it first. His smile disappeared. "What is that?" I pressed one button. The file uploaded. My mother's face drained. "Vivian, you should have checked who paid for this phone." Dad lunged, and my phone began to ring. Not 911. The name on the screen, Chloe Park, attorney. Dad froze. Chloe answered on speaker, calm as winter. "Vivian, I received the emergency upload. Are you safe?" No one moved. "I heard Mr. Vance threaten your life, assault you, and attempt to coerce a financial transfer. Police have been notified. The hospital's legal office received the protection notice we filed this morning." Julian's voice cracked. "Protection notice?" "Vivian's money is in a medical trust. It's untouchable. Any attempt to interfere with her treatment will trigger civil action against each of you personally." Dad tried to laugh. It came out hollow. "This is family business." "No," Chloe said. "This is recorded felony assault, attempted extortion, and financial abuse of a vulnerable patient." Sirens wailed in the distance. Julian went pale first, then my mother, then my father. For the first time in my life, I watched fear enter a room and choose them instead of me. They had spent months planning to take everything I had left. They forgot I'd been building the case against them since the day they started. Full story on channel, link below.